Right, people, it is currently August 28th, and I thought I should do like a little update, like a proper clarification sort of video, just to keep people informed of what's likely going to be rolling out. So, how far away are we until the actual new Scream Fortress event, the Halloween event? So, if we just scroll down here on the TF2 wiki, we can see that many patches came out at certain dates. But what I want to point out to you, all of you, is that the overall Halloween event starts during the beginning of October, but the actual patch, the new update with all the new content that we've been waiting for, that won't usually come out until during the week. So last year, for example, the actual Scream Fortress event, the overall Halloween event, started on October 1st, but the actual patch for the new content came out on a Tuesday on October 5th. So that was 2021. So just to give you a nice quick insight over here, we're currently on August 28th. It's currently a Sunday. We have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.5 weeks. I reckon the update for the 2022 Halloween event will probably not come until October 3rd to October 7th. So last year I was really hoping that the whole thing would kick off on a Monday, but no, it happened on a Tuesday. So maybe it'll be Monday, maybe it'll be Tuesday, maybe it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's definitely going to be this week, because Valve likes to roll out the events earlier now, because we have the missions, the special Halloween missions, and it's going to take a long time to be able to complete all of them. So we need more time. They roll it out earlier. So whilst the Halloween event will actually start probably the beginning of October, that's a weekend, we won't see the actual patch for the new content and with all the new Halloween unusual effects and whatnot until a few days in, maybe, I think most likely Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. I think that's the best answer. So, how are things currently behaving on the TF2 market on Steam? And at the moment, people have made moves. It's been a bit slow, but here we are. Here are the cases. So, Tough Break case. How has this been behaving at the moment? Well, I think people have already kind of made their moves. It's currently sitting here at 43 cents. Perfectly fine, perfectly stable. But the main important thing is, it's very, let's go F11. Very thin. Yes, you might sit there and say, oh, but there's hundreds. That doesn't matter. So I think we've already stepped into the anticipation phase. I think we prematurely jumped into it. So the anticipation phase, I think, has already happened, but I still think people will be buying these out during September, because as we get closer and closer to the actual October, the Halloween event, then yeah, more and more curious people will be jumping in. So this is currently, right now, towards the end of August, 43 cents. It could very easily go up in price. All of this that you see here is barely 1,000 quantity overall, and there's 8,600 total at the moment. I really do think, and I still stick to my point, that I think we're going to be seeing this go up to $1 this year. The next part of seeing a price spike will be whether or not we see good Halloween effects this year. So, if you recall, go to the Team Fortress 2 workshop. This is the main page. Search for item. And if you mainly specifically want to see unusual effects, so this is showing everything. So war paint, cosmetics and whatnot. That's a very scary looking medic. I care more about the unusual effects, so I'm going to click over here, unusual effect, and there we are. Now I get a good idea of what's potentially coming out. Some good, some silly, some maybe not as good. But, there seems to be a lot of creativity every single year. So we've got that nice looking effect right there. We got this. You usually see quite a lot of like bats and skulls and spooky, scary, undead things. What is that? It's just a sailor's hole. Okay, all right. So like a sailor's window there. That looks cool. Will it?
Let's wait.
That was loud. Sorry about that. I have no control over that. So yeah, that comes in a variety of different colours. That would probably maybe like mid-tier or something. Simple, but you got to understand, we're not going to be flooded with amazing effects. There has to be some sort of more grounded, lower tier, mid-tier effects. But we only need just one good or great or god tier effect, and then the whole events perfect, and then we'll see cases go up in price because everybody wants to chase new interesting effects. Last year we got Pumpkin Moon. What might we see this year? Well, again, you've got to constantly keep an eye on these. You've got to constantly keep an eye and see what potentially might come out. Will we see some effects that came out ages ago? Possibly. This initially came out in 2016 and then it was updated in 2021. Cases do sometimes get effects that came out quite a long time ago. That actually looks really cool. Don't be loud, don't be loud. Aha, got it. So yeah, that looks quite pretty. But is it Halloween-y? Is it more gimmick towards Halloween? I don't think so. The smartest thing to do is search by newest, because I'm looking at popular at the moment. So most recent, and here we are. So here's something you need to understand. Usually, everything that people want to get into the game, it has to be at least 2 weeks before the actual event starts. So I reckon the deadline for these new effects, these new cosmetics and whatnot, is probably going to be around maybe the 18th of September. That's probably going to be a very good sort of point, yeah. So maybe around the 18th of September. Anything after that would probably be less likely. But where's a very good effect I saw quite recently? That's the twirls. Yeah, you got some pumpkins. You got some creepy looking skulls. You got a something that looks very similar to Pumpkin Moon from last year. Modern Moon, Midnight Moon. There you go. That's the proper name. Congratulations, Alox and Ryan. That does look very nice. I'd welcome it. It's pretty much Pumpkin Moon, but sparkly. But where's this one? That's it. Psychotic. That looks very unique. It's like the old, silly sort of horror like style. So I like that. I do like that. I reckon that could potentially get in. It's very creative. This is the thing that you need to be prepared for, and the thing that you need to be aware of. Once you know everything to a good reason, if you keep an eye on what's like the better quality things and whatnot, you already would know what's appearing when they announce what's coming out. Like there's that period of time where you're like, oh, what's coming out? You probably already would be well in tune with what's coming out when it's happened. But anyway, back to the cases. So I think people have already made their move, but overall, yeah. So ever since May, we've been trending upwards and upwards and upwards. We did go down a bit, then we went back up, and we're steadily going up again. So I did mention not too long ago, someone came in and bought around almost 2,000 of these tough break cases at around 60 cents. We have already matched up to last year's high point. We did go a bit back down since then, but now we're going back up again. We are trending upwards. It begins, and I do think September it's going to happen again, where we're going to slowly go up even more, possibly. So that is the tough break case at the moment. How about we take a real quick look and see Crimson Cash, because Crimson Cash was kind of badly affected by the most recent new case, the Summer 2022 case. So this had a very nice high point at some point. I feel like I might have been the one to affect or been the influence to get loads of people involved with that. But yeah, this steadily went up in price. It had a high point of around 16-17 cents, and then when that new case came out, then it went down. Didn't go down by much, but it did go down. So right now it's selling for how much again? 13 cents. It's not too far off from 14 cents. I did mention there is going to be a point where people are going to turn around and say, you know what, I could make 5 cents profit per each case. I'm happy to sell my entire stock. And yeah, that's probably why there's thousands here. Maybe, maybe not. But I do stick to the point of, if we do get very nice effects, that Crimson Cash and the tough break case will be bought out a lot. The next phase of a potential price spike, will any of these effects cause the jump in price? The thing everybody wants to chase. You've got to research. You've got to check in. You've got to find out. So that's that. Now, I do also want to take a real quick look at Summer 2020, because people mentioned it. Summer 2020 doesn't actually really jump up in price during Halloween. It might a little, but it's not really a case specially for it. It's mainly all about the Hypnowise. But someone had a bit of a moan because someone walked in and dumped 10,000 of them. They made a big wall, and suddenly it's not close to 20 cents anymore. Yes, this is the slow burn long term investment case. This is something that if you bought last year, you've probably already made some money, but in good time, it's going to gradually keep going up in price, slowly but steadily, safely. Nothing wrong with it. So, yes, people might pick at this during Halloween. Maybe people might pick at it towards the end of this year into next year. You know, when loads of people get some extra money from Christmas, maybe they'll throw it at this. Because it is a safe investment. But it's definitely a slower one. So yeah, if we look at the whole of this year, from January to now, you can see it did go up, and then it started to slowly go down as of now. So, did it already reach its peak, or could it still go up during Halloween? Do people want to jump in and use this to potentially try and get some nice effects? Like, I mean, it does have bread crab. Bread crab is a red tier all class hat. It's a bit gimmicky and silly, but you never know. We might get like a bread crab unusual effect, and then it has a great pairing. Oh, there you go. There, things like that can happen. So those are the cases. How about we take a quick look at the likes of the unusualifiers? Because I did mention. Wait, is it? Yeah, that's fine. So I did mention in a separate video that unusualifiers tend to jump up in price around late August, early September time, because people would buy them out in preparation for the new Halloween event. Again, looking at these unusual effects, they also show taunt unusual effects. So look at this, Rolling Thunder. Don't be loud, don't be loud. So he's doing a taunt here. Wow. Very bright, very sparky. Is that something that could get a lot of interest? Maybe. It very well could. Oh, that's a lot of... That could probably tank a lot of computers' FPS. But it's very bright and it's very noticeable, and people like to be very obnoxious and be seen. Look at me, I'm so bright and flashy. So that very well could. So that's definitely something that you've got to keep an eye on. If you do unusual effect and then also click taunt, is it going to show only taunt unusual effects? I think that's correct. Yes. So you're going to get some very crazy ones that I just showed you there. Maybe we get a bit more like grounded and peaceful looking. There we go. So yeah, that's not too insane. Remember, same thing applies. We can't just have tons of amazing effects. You've got to have some that aren't as good. Some that are a bit more grounded. Some that aren't going to break the bank. Because if it was that easy, then yeah, it wouldn't work. So that looks like a perfectly fine grounded effect that would probably get accepted. So yeah, if you are prepared and aware, you can take advantage. And yeah, so unusualifiers, have they gone up? Conga, Schadenfreude, Kazotsky Kick, and maybe Manrobics. They have, in fact, slowly been trending upwards. Yes, they have. So as of last year, they spiked up around September time. Yep, last year. And then when it was all over with, it went back down. But now, recently, it's starting to pick up. It's starting to get bought out. Because these are things that you can buy individually. And it looks like people have been picking away the cheap ones. And there's only 9 of them on the market. So people are crossing their fingers and probably hoping, maybe this year there's going to be some very nice, unusual taunt effects. Again, I've already mentioned this. If you go through my video catalogue, all of the ones with the TF2 template, with the orangey yellow template, there's not a lot of them, but they are fairly noticeable. I've already talked about all of these things, various. So yeah. Again, Conga Unusualifier, it is showing signs. I was correct. And now we go quickly look at the Schadenfreude. And are we seeing the exact same thing? It doesn't look like it's really gone anywhere, but maybe it's probably about to. Again, only 8 of these on the market. How easily could these go up in price? I mean, if you bought these 2, then suddenly it's gone up by about 10-15%. Yeah. So people like to buy now because they're aware that they're probably going to get bought out by the time it gets to Halloween time when the new effects come out. So buy in when it's cheaper. Use these when the new effects come out, and you know, I guess it's like try and be lucky to see if you can get the very good effects on this awesome looking taunt. You know, Schadenfreude is probably one of the most used taunts, so of course it's going to be one of the most valuable, because as you can see, these are going by value. This is the Conga Unusualifier is probably selling for around Conga, for example, is selling for around $70. Yes, that cheap one right there is $70. Oh yeah, that's cheap. And then Kazutsky Kick, Unusual Fire. It is trending upwards ever so slightly. So went up last year, down afterwards, stagnated. Now it's slowly starting to go up because people are buying out the cheap ones. It is, as Slicksy says right here, it can be annoying to sell these. He's sitting there. Have fun buying and selling them. People over and undercut on low volume items like that a lot. Just saying. Well, they might be getting a whole lot more attention and demand when the Halloween event rolls in, the actual Scream Fortress patch. So that's just me just like pointing it out. So we've started to see the trend of them going up in price. I seem to have lagged. What's going on? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah, no. Yeah, so we're starting to see signs. So whilst the cases might have stagnated because it prematurely went through the anticipation phase, there still might be signs of that coming back, but the unusual fires look like they're only just now starting to go up in price. So, yep, these are the cheapest ones. Maybe if we just kind of skip ahead a few pages and then we'll get to some more valuable ones. Yep, these are some of the ones that came out more recently and whatnot. So, yeah, Halloween event. I would expect it maybe October 3rd to... October 3rd to October 7th. That's the week I would expect it. There's no guarantee, but based on the fact that we have so many Halloween missions to do now, that Valve like to have it started early and people have loads of time to play the game. And hopefully, the bots will be killed and we can have loads of fun playing the Halloween event matches and whatnot during this time. I would expect a whole bunch of maps to be introduced. Last year we got a lot. I would expect that trend to keep going on. So yeah, TF2 Halloween is just around the corner. Things are kind of calm at the moment. But will we be seeing some very interesting things being accepted? Will we see some very ridiculous things that people can't help but want to chase and unbox? Personally, I think that has a good chance of being very desirable. Again, because it just quite literally looks like Pumpkin Moon. I mean, it's a moon. It's a very obvious trend there. So yeah, keep an eye out. Is that another moon effect? It is! I mean, if one moon last year did very well, why not just keep making moon effects? And if something works, just copy it, I guess. But it's not like the Pumpkin Moon was the first ever moon effect ever. So, we did have like the Eldritch effects from a couple of years ago. So yeah, guys, sorry if it was a bit of a ramble, but I just wanted to give you a nice quick insight, a nice update. September, most likely we'll see some trends and prices go upwards. It looks like it's going to be happening. I hope you're happy. I hope you're all satisfied. But you do have to put the effort in and keep an eye out what potentially might come out. That's not just unusual effects. It also applies to all of the cosmetics as well. It looks very creepy and scared. What is that? A cannon? Creepy angel nerd. No. Alright, that would be very desirable. I reckon that actually might get accepted. That looks silly. So yeah, keep an eye out. And then when it actually comes out, you'd know what's most likely going to be in demand. And with your buy orders ready, you jump in, you put your money down, and you're the one buying them for cheap and selling them for a whole lot more. That was quite a bit of a talk. But yeah, 4 to 5 weeks, let's see what happens. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoyed it.